Why learning English feels so hard, and what to do about it. Welcome to another powerful episode on English 101. In today's podcast, we're diving deep into a question every learner has asked at some point. Why does English feel so difficult? But we won't stop there. We'll break it down and explore how to turn frustration into fluency. Let's begin. Part 1. Why learning English feels so hard. Learning a language like English is not just about remembering vocabulary or grammar rules. It's a journey that involves your brain, emotions, habits, and environment. For many people, the moment they begin learning English, they already feel overwhelmed. Why? Because English is everywhere. But that doesn't always make it easier. In fact, it sometimes makes it feel like an impossible mountain to climb. Every time you open a movie, read a sign, or listen to a podcast, you hear something you don't understand. And slowly, a small voice in your head starts saying, "I'll never get this." One of the first reasons English feels so difficult is because it challenges your identity. When you speak your native language, you feel confident, smart, and in control. But in English, especially at the beginning, you feel like a child again. You search for words, hesitate, and worry about sounding silly. This is not just a learning problem, it's an emotional one. Feeling foolish or afraid of making mistakes can block your progress more than any grammar rule ever could. Another reason is comparison. You hear others speak fluently and you think, "Why can't I do that?" You forget they have practiced for years, faced the same fears, and made thousands of mistakes. But instead of remembering that, your brain tells you, "They are good. I am not." This mental trap can become a heavy weight that stops you from moving forward. You start focusing more on your failures than your improvements. Also, let's talk about expectations. Many learners believe they should be fluent in 6 months. They buy courses that promise quick results or apps that offer daily magic. But language learning is not a sprint. It's a marathon. When your progress is slow, you feel like something is wrong with you, not with your unrealistic expectations. This causes frustration, and frustration leads to giving up. Then there's the issue of inconsistency. Maybe you study hard for 3 days, then stop for a week. You try to memorize 100 new words in 1 day, then forget them all. This all-or-nothing approach never works. It makes English feel like a task instead of a habit. Without consistency, your brain keeps forgetting what you learned. And the more you forget, the harder it feels to continue. Let's not forget pronunciation and listening. English is not written the way it sounds. Words like though, through, and thought confuse even native speakers. And when you listen to a native speaker talk fast, it feels like one long sound with no spaces. This creates a big gap between what you read and what you hear. That gap can create self-doubt, especially when you think, "I know this word, but why didn't I understand it in the movie?" And then, there's the lack of real-world practice. Many learners spend years studying grammar but never speak. Their knowledge stays in notebooks, never entering the real world. When they finally try to speak, their minds freeze. It's like learning to swim by reading a book but never touching water. Practice is missing, and without it, confidence never grows. Social and cultural factors also play a role. In some countries, speaking English is not encouraged. Friends or family may tease you. Teachers may focus more on grades than communication. You may feel alone in your journey. All of these factors combine to make English feel more like a threat than a tool. But here's the good news. If you understand why English feels hard, you can start making changes that make it easier. Awareness is the first step to mastery. In the next sections, we'll talk about practical steps, mindset shifts, and powerful routines that can transform your experience. Don't worry, the mountain is real, but the path is walkable. Part 2. What makes English feel so hard, and how to fix it? One of the most common struggles in learning English is mental fatigue. When your brain is constantly trying to translate, understand, and memorize at the same time, it uses up energy quickly. This leads to the feeling of burnout. The fix is not to push harder, but to learn smarter. Instead of trying to memorize 50 new words a day, focus on 10 words you'll actually use. Use them in writing, speaking, and listening activities. Make the language functional, not just theoretical. Language isn't about knowing everything. It's about being able to use what you know. The second major issue is passive learning. Many students think watching movies or listening to podcasts without focus will magically improve their English. But if your mind is not actively engaging with what you hear, you're not truly learning. The solution is to shift from passive to active learning. That means stopping the audio, repeating what you heard, writing down new phrases, and speaking out loud. It might take more time, but your brain will remember much more. Another reason English feels difficult is that learners are often stuck in translation mode. They keep thinking in their native language and try to translate every sentence into English. This creates slow, unnatural speech and leads to frustration. One solution is to start building mental associations in English. For example, instead of thinking of the word apple and translating it from your language, see a picture of an apple and directly connect it to the English word. Build your thinking around images, feelings, and real-world contexts, all in English. Let's also talk about fear. Fear of making mistakes. Fear of looking stupid. Fear of not understanding. These fears are not just emotions, they are mental blocks. When fear enters, progress stops. The way to break these blocks is by changing your relationship with mistakes. Every time you make a mistake, your brain gets feedback. That feedback helps you grow. Without it, there is no learning. So celebrate your mistakes. Say them loudly. Learn from them. And most importantly, don't stop because of them. One of the most powerful things you can do is to build a daily English habit. Not a huge one, not a 2-hour marathon, just 10 minutes in the morning, 10 at lunch, and 10 before bed. It might seem small, but habits are the foundation of fluency. If you practice English every single day, even for a short time, your brain will begin to adapt. Language learning is about consistency, not intensity. So don't wait for a perfect schedule. Start small and stay steady. Another tool that helps overcome the difficulty is shadowing. Shadowing means repeating what you hear in real time. You can do this with movies, podcasts, YouTube videos, or audiobooks. Choose a native speaker, listen to a sentence, and repeat it immediately with the same rhythm, tone, and pronunciation. This helps you train your mouth and your brain at the same time. Over time, it improves your listening, speaking, and pronunciation all at once. The environment you study in also matters. If you are surrounded by people who don't speak English, or who don't support your learning, your motivation will drop. You need to create a space that supports your goals. Follow English content creators. Join online English communities. Watch English content regularly. Change the language on your phone. All these small steps help build an English-friendly environment that supports your progress. A big challenge is the feeling of, I'm not improving. Sometimes you study and practice, but you don't notice results. This is natural. Progress in language is slow and invisible at first. It builds under the surface, like a tree growing roots. One day suddenly, you'll speak without translating. You'll understand a whole conversation. You'll realize how far you've come. But until then, trust the process. Keep going. Improvement is happening, even if you can't see it yet. Let's not forget the role of sleep, nutrition, and rest. Your brain needs energy to learn. If you are always tired, distracted, or hungry, your learning will be harder. Take care of your body if you want your mind to be sharp. A healthy brain absorbs language faster. Don't ignore the basics of self-care when planning your study routine. Learning English is not only about speaking. Reading and writing are just as important. When you write, your brain organizes thoughts in English. When you read, you see how the language is structured. These skills build a strong foundation. Don't skip them. Make writing a daily habit, even if it's just a few sentences. Read stories, news, blogs, anything that interests you. The more you see English, the more natural it becomes. It also helps to set small goals. Instead of saying, I want to be fluent, say, I want to understand one podcast episode without subtitles, or I want to write one paragraph every day. These goals are measurable. When you reach them, your brain rewards you with motivation. Big dreams are built from small victories. Many learners don't track their progress. They don't know how much they've improved because they don't keep a record. Start keeping a language journal. Write what you studied, what you learned, what you found difficult. Every month, look back. You'll be surprised how far you've come. This kind of reflection is powerful and helps you stay focused. Practice speaking even if no one is listening. Talk to yourself. Describe what you see. Explain what you're doing. Answer imaginary questions. This might feel strange at first, but it's incredibly effective. The more you speak, the more fluent you become. Fluency is built in silence, in the moments no one sees. Don't let perfection stop you. Many learners wait until they feel ready, but ready never comes. You learn by doing, not by waiting. Speak today. Make mistakes today. That's how you get better. Be brave. Fluency is not for the perfect. It's for the persistent. English will feel easier when you turn it from a subject into a lifestyle. Think of it as something you live, not just something you study. Listen to English when you walk. Write in English when you journal. Read in English before bed. Speak in English to your pet or to the mirror. The more you live in the language, the faster it becomes part of you. And finally, remind yourself why you started. Was it for a job? For travel? For connection? For confidence? Keep your why close. On difficult days, your reason will keep you going. Learning English is a long journey, but it's also a beautiful one. And it's one you don't have to walk alone. Part 3. Turning tiny actions into massive English growth. Let's begin this section with the power of micro practices. These are tiny, quick exercises that don't feel like studying, yet they build your English muscle over time. Think of reading one short paragraph out loud every morning, or translating a short sentence into English before lunch. These small tasks seem simple, but repeated daily, they rewire your brain for language. Just like brushing your teeth keeps your mouth clean, these small habits keep your English fresh and active. One of the most overlooked habits is writing summaries. After watching a video, listening to a podcast, or reading a short article, write a few sentences summarizing what you understood. This activates multiple skills: listening, reading, thinking, organizing ideas, and writing. Over time, this habit trains your brain to not just absorb, but to express thoughts in English. Speaking out loud to yourself is a secret weapon. Many people are afraid to speak because they have no one to talk to. But your voice is always with you. Narrate your actions. I'm boiling water. I'm folding the laundry. I'm opening the window. The act of verbalizing these small things daily helps build fluency unconsciously. Your tongue and brain learn the rhythm of English without needing a conversation partner. Use the English switch method. Choose 1 hour each day where everything, your phone, your thoughts, your content, must be in English. This mini immersion forces your brain to adapt. The more your environment supports English, the less effort it takes to stay in learning mode. Turn off translation tools during this time. Use your instincts. Guess meanings. Confirm later. This builds confidence and intuition. Don't underestimate the value of imitation. Find a native speaker on YouTube or a podcast and try to speak exactly like them, the way they say each word, their pauses, their intonation. This is how babies learn language, by mimicking adults. You're not copying blindly. You're training your mouth and ears to match natural English. Keep an English curiosity list. Every time you hear or read a phrase that interests you, something catchy, new, or beautiful, write it down. Then try using it in your own sentences. Review the list weekly. Over time, you'll build a personal vocabulary bank that actually matches your taste and goals, not just textbook vocabulary. Apply the 1-minute rule. Every time you say, "I don't have time to practice English," do just 1 minute. Open an app, say one sentence out loud, write one sentence, or review one flashcard. 1 minute removes the excuse. Often you'll continue longer. But even if you don't, you've kept the habit alive. And that's what really matters. The habit, not the length. Learn by creating. If you like taking photos, add English captions to your Instagram posts. If you enjoy cooking, write your recipes in English. If you play games, explain the rules in English to an imaginary friend. Connecting English to your hobbies makes it enjoyable and personal. The more personal it is, the more permanent it becomes in your memory. Another amazing technique is chunking. Instead of learning single words, learn phrases or word groups. Not go, but go to the gym. Not happy, but happy with the results. These are the real units of language. When you learn chunks, you speak more naturally, and you avoid grammar confusion because the structure is already built in. Choose a weekly theme. For example, 1 week you focus on food vocabulary. The next week, travel expressions. Then health, emotions, or job interviews. This adds variety but also gives direction. Your brain works better when there's a target, not random input. You'll feel more organized and see quicker results in those areas. Use the 3 exposure rules. See or hear a new word 3 different times in 3 different contexts. That's how it becomes part of your memory. Just seeing a word once won't do much. But hearing it in a podcast, reading it in a blog, and using it in your writing, that seals it into your brain. Make it your goal to give new words those 3 touches. Engage your body. Language is physical too. Use hand gestures, facial expressions, or even walk while speaking. This activates your motor memory, which supports verbal memory. It might sound silly, but actors do it all the time. They learn lines with movement because it helps them remember faster. Try learning new vocabulary while doing specific actions. Record yourself, use your phone, read a paragraph out loud, then listen to it. This shows you your pronunciation, rhythm, and confidence. At first, it might feel awkward, but with regular practice, you'll start noticing progress. You'll hear yourself getting clearer, smoother, more natural. Recording is a mirror for your spoken English. Ask yourself questions in English, then answer them. What do I want to eat today? What did I learn yesterday? Why do I like this movie? This habit makes you a thinker in English. It's not just about conversation. It's about having an inner dialogue that runs in English. That's where fluency begins. Create reward loops. After finishing an English session, give yourself a small reward. A snack, a walk, a song you love. This builds positive associations. Your brain will start linking English practice with pleasure. Over time, studying won't feel like a chore. It will feel like a habit you look forward to. Mix your inputs. Don't just use apps or textbooks. Watch movies, read tweets, listen to interviews, follow English-speaking influencers. Variety keeps your brain alert. Monotony kills motivation. The real world is full of English. Use it. Don't wait for permission or a perfect course. Learning lives in everything you do. Use the mirror method. Every day, stand in front of a mirror and speak for 1 minute. Talk about anything. Your day, your plans, your dreams. This builds confidence and body language awareness. It also removes fear. If you can talk to yourself with expression and flow, talking to others will become much easier. Teach what you learn. Explain grammar rules to a friend. Share new words on social media. Make a mini podcast. When you teach, you remember more. Your brain is forced to organize information clearly. And the best part, you'll help others while helping yourself. Finally, remember, fluency is not a destination. It's a process. There is no finish line. It's a lifelong relationship with a language. Some days will be easy, others will be hard, but every step, even the small ones, moves you forward. Stay kind to yourself. Stay curious. Stay consistent. That's the real path to English mastery. Part 4. Consistency, Mindset, and the Power of 5 Minutes. One of the most important things to understand when building a language habit is this. Motivation may start the journey, but consistency is what brings results. The 5-minute rule is powerful because it removes the pressure. When you tell yourself, just 5 minutes, your brain agrees. It feels light, easy, manageable. And once you begin, those 5 minutes often grow into 10, 15, or even 30 minutes without you noticing. That's how you bypass procrastination. Let's talk about momentum. Momentum is the energy you build when you do something regularly. Imagine a bicycle. It's hard to start moving at first, but once you're rolling, it's easier to keep going. The same is true with English. If you haven't studied for weeks, even 5 minutes feels heavy. But if you practice every day, skipping a day feels strange. You want to come back. That's the power of momentum, and 5 minutes is all it takes to start building it. Create an identity around learning English. Instead of saying, "I'm trying to learn English," say, "I'm an English learner." Better yet, say, "I use English every day." This mindset shift changes your actions. People who believe they are runners don't wait for motivation. They run. People who see themselves as writers write daily. So see yourself as someone who uses English, not someone who waits for a perfect moment or feels guilty for not doing enough. Set up your space for success. Place a small notebook with your English notes on your desk. Keep English books where you can see them. Set your phone to English. These small environmental cues remind your brain. English is part of your world. You don't need huge changes, just gentle reminders that invite you back into practice. Make the habit easy to start. The easier it is, the more likely you are to do it daily. Use the don't break the chain method. Put a calendar on your wall. Every day you do 5 minutes of English, mark a red X. Soon you'll have a chain of X's, one after another. You won't want to break the chain. This visual progress builds pride. Even on days when you're tired or busy, you'll find 5 minutes just to keep the chain alive. It turns learning into a game, and your brain loves games. Celebrate small wins. Learned a new word? Say, "Yes, progress." Understood a new phrase in a song? Smile. Every small win is proof that your effort works. Don't wait for big milestones like passing an exam or having a full conversation. Notice the tiny victories. They matter. They build confidence, and they motivate you to keep going. Success is not one big leap. It's thousands of small steps in the right direction. Reduce friction. Friction is anything that makes a habit harder to start. For example, if you have to open your laptop, connect to Wi-Fi, find a video, and plug in headphones, that's too much friction. Instead, prepare in advance. Download English podcasts to your phone. Save short lessons to a playlist. Bookmark articles. The easier it is to access English, the more likely you are to practice, even when your energy is low. Remind yourself daily why you're learning English. Is it to travel, study abroad, get a better job, understand movies without subtitles, speak with friends? Write it down and place it somewhere visible. Your reason is your fuel. On hard days, looking at that note will push you to act, even if it's just 5 minutes. The why gives your actions meaning, and meaning keeps you moving forward when motivation fades. Never compare your progress to others. Everyone's journey is different. Some learn faster, some slower. Some have more time, others less. What matters is your own growth. Are you better than yesterday? That's your only competitor. Your past self. 5 minutes a day is enough to beat that person. And if you do that consistently, day after day, your improvement will become unstoppable. Use your emotions as fuel, not excuses. Feeling frustrated? Use it to push harder. Feeling bored? Try a new method. Feeling proud? Celebrate and keep going. Emotions are part of learning. Instead of waiting to feel perfect, act despite how you feel. 5 minutes is small enough to do even on bad days. That's why it works. It respects your humanity. It works with your emotions, not against them. Take breaks, but don't quit. Life gets busy. Sometimes you'll miss a day or two. That's normal. What matters is bouncing back. Restart your chain. Do a quick 5-minute review. Reignite your motivation. The secret to long-term success is not perfection. It's resilience. You fall, you rise. Again and again. English isn't a test you pass. It's a lifestyle you live. Connect your habit to something you already do. For example, after brushing your teeth, do 5 minutes of listening. After your morning coffee, write 1 English sentence. After dinner, speak to yourself in the mirror. These anchor habits create routines. Your brain loves routines. The more automatic it feels, the less energy it takes to maintain. Over time, it becomes part of who you are. Track your growth. Every week, review what you've done. Did you practice every day? What did you learn? What felt good? What needs improvement? Self-reflection turns activity into progress. It shows you where to adjust, where to celebrate, and where to focus. Learning without reflection is like walking in the dark. So take a moment to light your path every week. Teach others what you learn. Share a tip on social media. Explain a grammar rule to a friend. Recommend your favorite English podcast. When you teach, you learn twice. It forces you to understand the material deeply. And it gives you a sense of contribution. You're not just learning for yourself. You're becoming a guide for others. That's a powerful motivator. Avoid perfectionism. You don't need perfect grammar to speak. You don't need perfect pronunciation to be understood. You don't need perfect words to express your thoughts. Mistakes are part of growth. Babies fall when they learn to walk. Adults make errors when they learn new skills. So allow yourself to be imperfect. 5 minutes of imperfect practice is better than 0 minutes of waiting for perfection. Build your habit army. Surround yourself with tools that support your goal. Use flashcard apps, YouTube channels, Instagram pages with daily English tips, podcast apps, browser extensions, anything that makes English accessible and interesting. Your environment matters more than your willpower. If English is everywhere around you, learning becomes natural. Visualize your success. Close your eyes and imagine yourself speaking English confidently. See yourself in a job interview, on a trip, watching movies, reading books with ease. Feel that pride. That future you is real. If you keep showing up today. Every 5-minute session brings you closer. Visualization builds belief. And belief fuels action. Reward yourself monthly. Did you practice for 30 days straight? Treat yourself. Buy something small. Take a fun break. Watch a favorite show. In English. Rewards make habits stick. They give your brain something to look forward to. And they mark progress. You're not just learning, you're transforming. You deserve to acknowledge it. Remember, English is not outside of you. It's within you, growing each time you practice. You're not just learning a skill. You're becoming a new version of yourself. More confident, more expressive, more connected to the world. That transformation begins with 5 minutes. And it grows with every moment you choose to continue. And that brings us to the end of today's episode. The 5-minute rule, how tiny English habits create big results. I hope you've seen just how powerful 5 simple minutes can be in changing your English journey. Not someday, but today. Remember, fluency is not about hours of study. It's about showing up daily, even briefly, with purpose and consistency. Start small, stay consistent, and let each tiny action build your confidence, your vocabulary, and your future. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel English 101 for more powerful strategies and real-life English practice. And if you're ready to turn 5 minutes a day into a lifetime of fluency, I'll see you in the next episode. Take care and keep growing, one small habit at a time. Bye for now.